Okay, good evening to everybody.
ସାର୍ ନମସ୍କାର।
Namaskar. Aji hame will go through the block number 4. There you will have to find the unit 13 where we will have to go through the graphical representation. Unit 14 measures of central tendency. Unit 14, Unit 15 measures of dispersion and 16 correlation. And last is 17, that is the nature of distribution, where we have to go to the normal probability curve. But before going through all the chapters, it is better to know that what do we mean by the statistics. That means always we are hearing the word that is known as the परिसंख्यान in Odia. But परिसंख्यान कहले ଆମେ definitely बुझु ताकू आमे इंग्रजी रे जाहाकू आमे statistics बोली कहू, where we are always dealing with the numbers, and we can also express the numbers in terms of the chart, graph, columns, tables, etc., which can give us the clear picture regarding the subject or the incident, whatever it may be. Even if we are going through the different types of the data, the informations which we are going to collect or already collected, and that we must have to know. Suppose in case of the mathematics, science, psychology, commerce, economics, social science, geography, even if in agriculture, business management, we are also dealing with the statistics. But when we are coming in contact with the education, then definitely always we are conducting the examination, we are conducting the assessment, and we are also conducting the evaluation of the children's progress or learners' progress. And when we are doing all these things, then definitely we say that we must have to express the result in terms of the aggregate facts, or we can able to express it in the numerical form, and definitely we'll have to make a standard. But without the statistical calculation, we cannot do it. So definitely, statistics is what the statisticians do. That what type of the activities the statisticians are doing, then definitely they are giving us the result, and that result will have to taken into consideration. Already I have told you that in educational statistics we are always dealing with the educational assessment, measurement and evaluation. But why we are using it? What is the utility, or what are the uses of educational statistics by the teacher? You know that always we are getting the raw score. Raw score means exact score of the individual when we are evaluating the answer scripts. But that raw score has no meaning if it will not be converted to the standard score. So definitely we must have to judge the students' performance when we will compare with the others. And you know that it helps the teachers to compare the scores in different groups, and also with the outside also in the different schools. And another thing, when we are constructing the achievement test, at that time we are following the statistical procedures. In various stages, we are also going to follow the statistical procedures. So statistical procedure is always dealing with the individual differences among the children, and also we can able to test the intelligence, aptitude, attitude, and personality of the students. But sometimes we are utilizing the standardized test, which test is accepted by the all, and that is not the teacher made test. With the standardized test, we must have to apply some what the statistical methods. Another thing is there when you will get the information in the terms of the words, means in terms of the percentage or whatever it may be. Suppose you know that in the board percentage of the result is what? 80%. Suppose in your school the result is 60%, then you are below the board result. If you are 90%, then you are above the board result. So definitely for the selection, for categorization, for promotion of the students, we are always conducting the different tests and getting the result. And also we are interpreting the result when we will apply the statistical methods. But please tell me, what do you mean by the data? Data means it is nothing but the information. And when we will get the information, we are trying to get the source. Number one source is primary source and secondary source. Directly, if you will collect the data, that is known as the primary source. But when you will refer any type of the journals, newspapers, and also the magazines, whatever it may be, then definitely these are to be called secondary data. But when we are going through study the statistics, educational statistics, at the time we must have to know about the series. Series is also quantitative series and qualitative series. Quantitative series, you know that we are measuring it in a scale. Suppose qualitative, we are judging from the gender and also type of the school, mode of transportation, whatever available. But quality is always quality. But you know that the facts, the items, and the events, and even if the person's phenomena, we will have to explain from the qualitative point of view. But when we are dealing with the quantity, then definitely just we can express it in the terms of numbers. That means continuous series, you can know that the height of the children, it is a continuous series, that we cannot have any distraction. Discrete series means you know that the number of the children. Suppose average, if you calculate the average is 2.5 children, then we cannot say that 2.5 children is there. Similarly, number of the periods, half period is there, we will not calculate it. But let us come to our achievement test. When we are doing the achievement test, at that time we are conducting the test. That may be the teacher made test. It does not matter. Suppose the students will secure the marks in a particular examination history. Suppose 30 students secure the mark. The 30 students number are reflected here. And when we are conducting the test and getting the 30 number of the students, then definitely before going to make a frequency distribution table. Frequency distribution table, you know that where we will have to find out the class interval and also we will have to find out the frequency. Class interval means suppose 10 to 14. 10 to 14, how many students have secured the marks? Then the number of the students will be reflected there. Suppose 20 to 24, number of the students secured with between the 20 to 24, it will be reflected there. So first, when you will have to prepare the frequency distribution table, then definitely first determine the range. Range, you know that highest score minus the lowest score. That is the range. When we are determining the class interval, then we will have to follow a formula, that is range divided by the number of the classes. Then automatically we'll have to get that what will be the frequency distribution table. When we'll write the frequency distribution table, you know that first we'll have the class interval, then tallies are there and frequencies are there. When we'll write all these things, then we'll have to put the tallies. Suppose when we are giving the one tally, you'll have to just put one straight line, two straight line. But when you'll have to put the height, then you will have to give it 4 and another is like this, you will have to cross 1, but I have not crossed it. Suppose teacher table class interval is there, 1 to 4 tally is 1, frequency 1, 5 to 9 2, number of students are there, 10 to 14 no students have secured the marks, 15 to 19, these are 3. These are all the frequency distribution table, which is reflected, and total number of the frequencies when we will calculate, then definitely we must have to get the 30. Frequency distribution table ଆମକୁ ପ୍ରଥମେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଇଣ୍ଟରଭାଲ ନେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ଟ୍ୟାଲିସ୍ ନେବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ଯୋଉଠି 5ଟି ଗାର ଆମେ ଦଉଛେ ସେଠି 5ଟା ଗାର ନ ଦେଇକି 4ଟି ଗାର ଦେଇକି ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ କ୍ରସ୍ କରିଦେବା, ସେଟା 5 ହେଇଯିବ। ତାପରେ ଫ୍ରିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସି ନମ୍ବରକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପଣ କାଲକୁଲେଟ୍ କରିଦେବେ, when you will calculate, when you will get the exact number that 30 students are there, you are getting here number of the student, number is 30, then it is okay. Then you will have to check the number of the frequencies. But sometimes you know that graphical representation is always acceptable, because if you can see through pictures, then it will be more attractive, because graphs will catch your eyes immediately, and you can able to perceive the matters which was reflected there in the graph. So one graph is picture, pictograph is there, pictogram is there, bar graph is there, bar diagram is there, circle or pie graphs is there, and also line graph is there. Pictogram means through pictures we can able to explain. Suppose you know that you will just make a table where you will have to show the pictures. Suppose this is a pictogram. Through picture we are reflecting the number of the girl students. Suppose you know that class 8 section hochi 8A, 8B, 8C, 8D and 8E. In the section we are getting number of the girls through picture is 5, B 4, then we are getting the 6, then 3, then 2. Then automatically we can able to explain to others that in class 8 how many girl students are there, A section, B section କେତେ ଜଣ, ସି ସେକ୍ସନରେ କେତେ ଜଣ, ଡି ସେକ୍ସନରେ କେତେ ଜଣ. Bar graph when we are dealing that it is nothing, but you will have to take, you know that axis is there, x axis is there, y axis is there, and you must have to take it into consideration. X axis, you know that vertical line is y axis, x axis is horizontal line. When both the line intersect each other, then we will have to get the 0 point, and it will be very convenient always to take the 0 point when we interpret the data. Then definitely here, well, if you will prepare the histogram, then definitely you must have to see the table just now. Here we are finding the limits. Suppose 30 to 34 class interval is there, 30 to 34 class interval is there. Then here limit we will have to find out. How we can able to find out the limit? You know that limit means the lower score and higher score is there. The lower limit means the lowest score 0.5 you will have to minus. Then you will have to add another 0.5 in the highest score. Then definitely here, if the class interval is 30 to 34, then definitely the limit is 29.5 to 34.5. Then another is similarly 25 to 29, same thing is there. Then automatically x-axis will represent the limits and y-axis represent for the frequencies. Here the frequency is there, and here the class limits are there. Then if you will put graphically, then automatically you will get a bar diagram. But when we are making a pie diagram, pie graph, circle graph, we can say, then definitely we must have to convert the number of the students in degrees. How we will have to convert the number of the students into the degrees? Suppose you know that here class 10, class 9, class 8, class 7 and class 6. But number of the students are different. But here it is converted to what? In degree. But how we can able to convert to degree? There is also formula. Because you know that uh, total number of the candidates is 130. Suppose when a 135, suppose we are getting the total number of the students 135, then we will have to make that a circle is having the to a 360 degree. 360 degree, then suppose 135 represent 360 degrees. then automatically suppose number of student in 10th class is 16, then you will have to convert it by 16 divided by 135 into 360 degree, that is what, 42.44 degree. ଯେ ଯେମିତି ଆମେ 100ରେ କେତେ ସେମିତି 360ରେ କେତେରେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ କନଭର୍ଟ କରିଦେବା, ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଭେରି ଇଜି। ଆଉ ତାକୁ କନଭର୍ଟ କରିଦେଇ ସାରିଲା ପରେ 360 ଡିଗ୍ରୀ, ଦେନ୍ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ୟୁ ୱିଲ୍ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ରିଫ୍ଲେକ୍ଟ ଇନ୍ ଦିସ୍ ମ୍ୟାନର। କ୍ଲାସ୍ 10, class 9, class 8, class 7, here you will have to get the percentage. After getting the percentage, then definitely you can able to show in the graph. But when you are preparing the line graph means you know that we'll have to explain in this manner. Line graph, suppose you know that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday absentees of the students are 2, 5, 3, 7, 1 and 4. Then how you'll have to reflect it in the graph paper? Then you will have to take this one, you know that x-axis and y-axis. Y-axis represent for the what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Suppose these are all the frequencies, because you know that the frequencies are within these only, not more than that. If more than that, then definitely you can divide it one, that is here it is, you may make it in 1, 5, then 10, then 15. In this way you will have to proceed. Then automatically the points are given, and when we will have, hello, 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 then automatically if you will join, suppose Monday join to Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday and Saturday, then automatically it will become a line. But you know that when we are having to reflect it, the group data, then automatically we will have to get the class interval. Suppose group data is one is histogram, that is column gram, and already I have discussed how to form the histogram previously. This is the bar gram or histogram. But when we are preparing the frequency polygon, what do you mean by frequency polygon? Frequency will be reflected. Suppose in the class interval, first you will have to calculate the midpoint. Midpoint, you know the calculation. Suppose you know that here it is a table. Suppose 30 to 34, the midpoint will be 30 plus 34 divided by 2 is equal to 32. Then here x means the midpoint will represent the x-axis, y-axis will be represented by the frequencies. Then automatically when it will be reflected, then you know that first is 7, and that is 4.9. 5, 9, 14 divided by 7. 14 divided by 7. But here we will have to take the, we can say the lower limit of the class interval. When you will take the lower limit, 4.5, 9.5, 14.5, 19.5, 24.5, 29.5, and we will have to reflect it. But this picture, after the reflection, you know that not a polygon, because it will not touch the baseline. Here it will have to touch the, in the beginning it will have to touch the baseline, and lastly it must have to touch the baseline. To touch the baseline, then extra class interval you will have to take at the above and also the lowest. Then the frequency will be the 0. Then when we will get the frequency 0, then definitely automatically the, it will touch the baseline, and when it will touch the baseline, then it will be a frequency. Suppose we can say that it is a frequency polygon. Polygon अर्थ होची बहुभुज क्षेत्र. But when we are preparing the frequency, cumulative frequency means what? Suppose you know that here the class interval is there, frequencies are there from the beginning. Suppose we say that 10 to 14 frequency is 2. But if I will ask you the question, then how many frequencies you will have? 10 to 19, please tell me. 10 to 14, 2. 15 to 19, 6. Then 10 to 19, 2 plus 6. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
କୁହ ନା 10 ରୁ 14 ଯଦି 2 ଅଛି, 15 ରୁ 19 ଯଦି 6 ଅଛି, ତେବେ 10 ରୁ 19 କେତେ ହବ? Sorry. 10 to 14, 2 number of the students are there. And 15 to 19, 6 number of students are there. Then 10 to 19, 2
88.
plus 8, very good. Then 10 to 24, 8 plus 3, then 11.
11.
Definitely 25 to 29, that is 16. Then
Yes.
again go to from 10 to 29 porjyanto, 16. Then 10
16.
to 34, that is 24.
24. Yes.
Then automatically what we'll have to do? We'll have to get the midpoint of all these things. Class interval. It will be reflected where? In the x-axis. Where you will have to take also the upper limit. You can take. If you take the upper limit here, suppose 5 to 9 is what? 5 to 9 is 0. Then upper limit will be the 9.5. In cumulative frequency curve, you can find that 9.5 is there. And 10 to 14, that is 14.5 upper limit. Then 19.5 upper limit. But frequency, you can able to get the cumulative way. Suppose 2 is there because last is 30. 30 means here it has not touched the 30 cumulative frequency curve. Suppose first you must have to calculate the cumulative frequencies. Then you will have to reflect it in the graph paper. But when we are concerned with the cumulative frequency percentage curve, that is OG, then automatically here you can see this is the same thing. You know that class interval is there, frequencies are there, upper limits are there, but cumulative frequency we have already calculated. But here the cumulative frequencies will be converted into percentage. Here the last column is here, percentage is there. You will have to convert in percentage. Suppose total number of the frequencies when we are getting 2, 6, 3, 5, 8, 3, 16, 3, 19, 2 kete 21, then automatically here 21 ru bartman 8 kete rakhiyo. Sorry, 24 hochi cumulative frequencies total. Tenu 30 ru 34 habo kete eti 100% hela. Kana 24 जाके एठी आसला 100%, तेम तापर 16 टा मध्ये सेमती कमिबो, तापर ऑटोमेटिकली 8 पळे आसीबो एटा ताकू करि साला परे आमे कोन करबा सेमती अपर लिमिट नै कि ताकू आमे करबा। एठी कोन होची ना सेथरे जो ग्राफ टे देखितिले, यू कैन सी दिस ग्राफ एंड दिस ग्राफ इज क्वाइट डिफरेंट. You know that automatically it will touch the baseline and go in this manner. That is cumulative frequency percentage curve. Okay, we will go. Tapre scales already we have discussed. Then there is no need of the discussion. And let us come to discuss the measures of central tendency. Before going to discuss the measures of central tendency, I can able to ask some questions to you all. If you will cooperate me, then it will be very easy on my part to teach. Suppose what do we mean by the central tendency? Can you tell me? Our central tendency is what? Suppose if I will ask you that you will appear the examination, do you want to secure the 99% of the mark? Then you will answer no, sir. If I will say that you will have to secure the 10% mark, then you will say that no, sir. If I will say that you will have to secure from 50 to 80% of the mark, then you will say that yes, sir. Because our tendency is
सर ठीक कहबी
कौन तो
सर जो सेंट्रल टेंडेंसी सर केंद्रीय प्रवणता ना
yes in ODI.
सर माने केंद्रीय प्रवणता एमदी गोटे नंबर नबा जे कि ସବୁ ସ୍କୋର ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲି କାମ କରୁଥିବ ମାନେ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ
ନା
ରିପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଥିବ।
ନାଇଁ ସେଇଟା ନୁହଁ।
ଆଉ
ତାର ଅର୍ଥ ହଉଛି ଯେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଇଚ୍ଛା କରନ୍ତିନି ଯେ ଅଧିକ ନମ୍ବର ପାଇବା ପାଇଁ। ତଥାପି ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ତ ଅଧିକ ନମ୍ବର ରଖିବ ନା।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସମସ୍ତେ ଇଚ୍ଛା କରନ୍ତିନି ଯେ ରଖିବା ପାଇଁ କଣ କମ ନମ୍ବର, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ତ କମ ନମ୍ବର କିଏ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ରଖିବ ନା ନାହିଁ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ତେଣୁ ଆମର ସେଣ୍ଟ୍ରାଲ ଟେଣ୍ଡେନ୍ସି ହଉଛି ଯେ ଆମେ ସବୁବେଳେ ମଝି ମଝିକାରେ ରହିବା। ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ନିଜକୁ କାଲକୁଲେଟ କରିବା, when we will have to calculate our standard, then first we will have to calculate from the average. Yes or no?
ଆଜ୍ଞା
Average is nothing but the central tendency.
ଆଜ୍ଞା
Average means you know that the mean, median and mode, that is the average. From there we will start everything. Suppose you know that in your mind there is a average beauty is there. Suppose if you will exceed, then automatically you will say that I am beautiful. Yes or no? If you will compare with the average, then you can say that less, then automatically you can say that you are ugly. So each and every movement we are comparing ourselves with the average, and the average value is known as the what measures the central tendency. Then central tendency is nothing but the central value of the score of the group. Suppose in a particular group, what average mark is there, that is the central measurement of the central tendency. There we are trying our best to measure the mean, median and mode. You know that first we must have to know that what is mean. Mean is nothing but the arithmetic mean. Arithmetic means harahari, average value. Arithmetic mean, average value. But when we will calculate the mean, how we will have to calculate the mean? Suppose 5 students are there. Each everybody will secure the 10 marks. Then average mark is what? 50 divided by 10. Then average mark is what?
5.
50 divided by 5. Then automatically 10 is there. Yes or no? 10 mark is average. But if average mark will be the 15, then if anybody will secure the more mark, average mark is 15. But the others marks not 10 10 10, then differences is there. Then we'll have to calculate the average mark and also mark which he has secured in the examination. The formula is mean is sigma x by n. X means sum total of the scores divided by the number of the students by number of the cases. For example, here the scores are there and total number of the score is 10. Then automatically all the scores are added together and we are getting 281 and divided by 10 is 21.1. That is the average mark. But one who has secured the 32, 29, 40 and 45 and 37, they are the good students. But below 28, they are not the good students because in comparison, they have not secured the more than average mark. Suppose in case of the group data means these are all the suppose ungroup data is there, but you know that score is there, but frequency is there. Suppose frequency, suppose 25 marks secured by 3 students, 31 marks secured by 7 students, 33 marks secured by 9 students, 42 marks secured by the 12 students, 46, 13 students. In this order, you will have to get the table. Then you will have to find out the sigma effects. How? Then 25 mark ଯଦି ରଖିଲେ କୋଉଟା 3 ଜଣ ପିଲା ତେଣୁ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ଟୋଟାଲ ମାର୍କ ହେଲା 75. ସିମିଲାରଲି 31 ଯଦି 7 ରଖିଲେ 270. ଏମିତି ସବୁ ଯାକ ଯଦି ଆମେ ମିଶେଇ ଦେବା ତାର ଯୋଉ ଏଭରେଜ ହେଲା 2583 divided by the number of the students means number of the frequencies is 60. Then you will have to get the average mark 43.5. Then automatically it will be the calculation. First we must have to find out when we will have to calculate the mean from the group data, then definitely we must have to find out the midpoint. Then we will have to multiply the midpoint with the frequencies. After multiplying, then automatically you will get the result applying the formula sigma fx by n. This is the table. You can see Suppose 40 to 43, 3, 35 to 39, 5, 30 to 34, 10, 25 to 29, 14, in this manner. But solution is there, frequency is 3. Midpoint is here, 40 to 44, midpoint is 42. Then fx means frequency into x means midpoint. Here, if we will multiply 42 with 3, then definitely you will get 126. Similarly, 35, 39 is there. There are 5 frequencies, 5 students are there. Midpoint is 37, then 185. Then 10 frequencies are there. Midpoint is 32, then 320. In this manner, you will have to get the answer sigma fx divided by n is equal to 26.6. This is the main calculation. But sometimes we are also not taking the help of the long method. It is the long method to calculate the mean. But if you take the long method, then calculation will be very difficult in case of the multiplication. If one error will be there, then you will have to face the problem. But there is another formula that is known as the assumed mean. Assumed means ମନେକର ବାଧ୍ୟ କୋଉଠି ପଡୁଛି, mean ଟା କୋଉଠି ପଡିବ ସେଟାକୁ ଦେଖ. Suppose you know that this is a class interval. Here you will have to calculate the mean. ଏତିକି ହେଉଛି class interval, ଏତିକି ହେଉଛି question ଛୋଟିଆଟା ଏଇଠି. Only class interval and frequency. Then you will have to calculate the what? Mean. But here assumed mean means ଯେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ବଳଦର କ୍ରୟ ମୂଲ୍ୟ 100 ଟଙ୍କା. ସେ 100 ଟଙ୍କାର କ୍ରୟ ମୂଲ୍ୟ ନେଇକରି ଆମେ ଯଦି କାଲକୁଲେସନ କରିବା, ତେଣୁ ସେଇ 100ରେ ତାକୁ ଭାଗ କଲେ ଆମେ ପାଇଯିବା କେତେ ବଳଦର ମୂଲ୍ୟଟି. ସେମିତି ଏଠି ଆମକୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ଯେ you will have to select a class interval where the mean falls. You will have to assume it. You will have to assume that in the particular class interval there is the mean. Suppose here it is assumed that 30 to 34 class interval and 10 frequency is there. The mean, assumed mean is here. Then what will be the assumed mean? Then assumed mean is nothing but this midpoint, 30 to 34 midpoint is assumed mean. ମନେକର mean 30 ରୁ 34 ରେ ଅଛି 10, जोटा कि frequency ଅଛି 10. ଆମେ ମନେ କଲେ 30 ରୁ 34 ରେ ଅଛି, assume କଲେ. କାହିଁକି ଆମେ assume କରିବାନି 50 ରୁ 54 ଭିତରେ ଅଛି? Yes, you can assume it. If you will assume it, then automatically here the midpoint will be the 52. If you will assume that 10 to 14, the midpoint is there 12, then you can also assume. If you will calculate the mean, same answer you will have to get when you will have to apply the formula. Here, why you will have to calculate it? Then definitely here, if the assumed mean is 32 and it is within the 30 to 34 class interval and frequency is 10, then automatically you will have to get the deviation, assumed deviation. Here assumed deviation is there, and roughly we are taking that the highest frequency we are taking, अधिक जोटी frequency थिबो ताको हमें नै जाऊ एवं सेठी कोन करू 0 दे दऊ. जदि क्लास इंटरवल गुडा को ऊपर को उठीची बढ़ी जाईची तबे +1 +2 +3 +4 दऊ. जदि कमी जाईची -1 -2 -3 and -4 दऊ. तेणु आमे एमटी दऊ. तेणु ऑटोमेटिकली this method you know, but if you will take the class interval 50 to 54, here the midpoint will be what? The 52. 50 to 54 ର midpoint ହେଲା 52. मनकर 2 होची here the what? The mean remains. Assumed mean is there in the midpoint, that is 52. Here to get the like this is 0, then automatically here it will be the 0, because the formula is, you know, here it is the formula, because midpoint minus assumed mean divided by the size of the class interval. Size of the class interval is 5. Suppose here you can say 32 is the midpoint, 30 to 34. 30 to 34 midpoint is there. and here it is the midpoint 32 minus 32 assumed mean, then automatically it will be the 0 by 0 divided by kete, automatically 5 is equal to 0. Here you can see 27 is there, and 27 minus 32 is 5 minus 5 minus 5 divided by the 5 is nothing but minus 1. Similarly 22 minus 32, then automatically you can get 2. Similarly divided by the size of the class interval. Suppose you can see 10 to 14. 10 to 14 means here 12. 12 minus 32 is equal to what? 20. 20 divided by the 5 is equal to 4. That is minus 4. That is minus 4. Similarly, but sometimes we are also following the formula without knowing all these things. Or just you can take 0, then उपरको सार कहते प्लस माइनस प्लस 1 प्लस 2 प्लस 3 कर दियो, तलको माइनस 1 माइनस 2 एमती कर, सेमती नहीं. जदि स्कोर गुड़ाक बढ़ी बढ़ी जाऊँगी तेणु ऑटोमेटिकली से प्लस 1 प्लस 2 प्लस 3 प्लस 4 हम, तापर कमी कमी गले माइनस 1 माइनस 2 माइनस 4 हम. तापर देन एफडी हाउ विल कैलकुलेट, frequency is there 2, here plus 4, then automatically 2 plus 4 multiply kale 8 hobo. Here that is the multiplication, then automatically here 10 into 0, frequency is 0, 6 minus 1 minus 6, 4 minus 2 minus 8, 2 minus 3 minus 6, all these things. Then after that you will have to put the formula assumed mean plus sigma fd divided by n into size of the class interval. Then automatically whenever we are getting the assumed mean, then automatically we are getting the result like this. You can calculate. And if you take any class interval as the assumed mean means the midpoint of the class interval, then automatically you will not face any problem. The answer will be the same. This is the calculation of the mean applying the what formula? The short method formula, long method and short method. But when we are trying our best to calculate the combined mean means you know that there are several groups are there, and when you will know the numbers and also know the mean, then we can able to calculate the combined mean. Formula is combined means n1 m1. n1 means से group रे number of the students केते तारो mean केते. Number 2 groups n2 तारो number केते mean केते. 3 जदि थिबो 3 रो number केते mean केते. जदि 4 थिबो सेमती प्लस आसीबो. तापरे लास्ट रे number सहित हमें calculate कर दवा, सब जाक मिसै दवा number of the students केते. तेणु automatically we can able to calculate the combined mean. Combined means in the question you will have to get the number of the students of the different groups. Suppose one group number of the students is 36, number 2 group 33, number 3 group 41, and mean number 1 is 82, 65 2 row, 3 row is 70. Then whenever you will have to apply all these things, then you will have to get the combined mean. Mean की हमें कितने बड़े यूज करूँ ना, when the distribution is in a system symmetrical. Symmetrical distribution means you know that it is not skewed. Skewed means how it is symmetrical. When I will have to go to discuss the normal probability curve, then I will have to explain. One of the characteristics of the normal probability curve is the distribution is symmetrical. Symmetrical means जो ऊपर गोटे आड़ू खसी अन्य आड़ू पर सेमती खसी थी. तापरे here the gravity, central gravity we can able to know from these samples, and central tendency hochi what a greater stability. What we are interested, what mean is very valid. So definitely limitation is there. Suppose for example गोटे छोट गपटे अच्छी जे जड़े गला गोटे नई पार हो पारि हो बोली कि गोटे एवरेज नेला, आउ गोटे गला एवरेज नेला मझीरू, आउ गोटे एवरेज नेला पूरा गभीर भितर पशिकी, तापर आउ गोटे ता कड़ू गला एवरेज हो गला कौन ता सपोज से नई रे जमा 6 फुट पानी अच्छी 5 फुट पानी अच्छी, देखला बेलू मझीरे अच्छी 10 फुट पानी अच्छी, किंतु एवरेज आसला 5 फुट. लोक बड़ खुशी होकर समस्त यदि पशिजे 5 फुट पानी अच्छी कहीकि तेणु मरिया छड़ा द्वितीय कथा कि सेमती आम जिते सिंगल स्कोर टाक यूज करुचे मीन कि आम एवरेज बाहर करुचे सेमती गोटे डेली वेजेस जिते दिखाई 5टा लोक को जन को 100 रुपीज दिखाई जन को 150 टंका जन को 170 टंका 160 टंका आउ जन को 3000 टंका दिहला तेणु ये एवरेज टंका पड़ा 716 टंका तेणु ये 100 टंका पाँच सी कह एवरेज तो 716 टंका मिलूँ मत तो 100 टंका मिलूँ तेणु ये डिस्क्रिमिनेसी इज देयर तेणु ऑटोमेटिकली आम सब बेले आर लिमिटेशन रोचे मीन टाक सब क्षेत्र में आम यूज करी बाबा नवा उचित always we must have to consider it where we will have to use it in every situation mean is not to be used but is the uh, mean is the we can say a mean is always ready to provide the meaningful information through which we can compare ourselves our standard everything we can compare with others how we are improving or how we are losing next is median समस्ते जानिछ मीडियन कौन गोटे स्केल अच्छी दी भाग में विभक्त करदे 50% एबव एंड 50% बिलो एक्जेक्ट पॉइंट दैट इज द मीडियन सपोज यू नो दैट मिड पॉइंट मीन्स एबव 50% बिलो 50% above 50% and below 50% then we can say that it is 50th percentile जेतले percentile पढ़िया से 50th percentile होची median but when we will have to calculate the median on group data we are taking one formula that is n plus 1 divided by 2 tth ऊपर लिखिया who score only one score will be the median suppose you know that these are all the scores 9 22 32 19 12 26 15 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 suppose here three scores are there 9 22 32 here also three scores are there 12 26 15 then 19 is the median yes if you will say that 19 is the median in this calculation it is wrong first you must have to ascending order you will have to write suppose 9 12 15 19 22 26 32 here when we are arranging it in the ascending order 50% is there 9 12 15 and 50% 22 26 and 32 then here we can say that 50% above three scores are there and here 50% below three score above is three score then that point means 9 is the median that is the fourth score is the median number of the scores are 7 plus 1 divided by 2 is fourth score is the median here definitely from ascending order 9 to asle fourth score with the median but unfortunately एटी fourth score टारे अच्छी 19 याकू भाविक लिखिदेले आंसर ठीक हो नुह फर्मुला हूँ सजेक लिखा पड़ो ग्रुप डाटा आमको जो मीडियन कैलकुलेशन करिया पड़ो से डेफिनेटली यू नो दैट the median you will have to calculate that lower limit plus n by 2 that is we are saying that CF cumulative frequency by FM and size of the class interval here lower limit first we must have to know the n by 2 here suppose here this is the class interval where number is kete 48 here number is 48 48 means n by 2 is 24 n by 2 is 24 if n by is 24 then definitely when we will calculate the median we will have to calculate the frequency cumulative frequency why we will calculate the cumulative frequencies we have to know that how many students are there 48 students are there when we are getting the 48 students then n by 2 is 24 then we must have to find out that in which class interval 24 lies 24 टा को क्लास इंटरवल अच्छी ताकू हमको जानिया को पड़ी. Suppose when we have to calculate the cumulative frequency, for example 45 to 49 2, then 45 to 54 4, then 45 to 59 8, then 45 to 64 17, and 45 to 69 19 29. Here we can say that 29 is the number where 24 lies. Then automatically we can able to say that median lies in the class interval 65 to 69. Are you understanding or facing any difficulty? First we will have to calculate the cumulative frequency. Then you will have to take the n by 2. When we are taking the n by 2, n is 48, n by 2 is 24. Then 24 lies where? 17 रे नहीं 29 ने अछि. जदि 29 भितरे 24 अछि सेटा को क्लास इंटरवल अछि 65 to 69. Then median class is 65 to 69. Then you will have to take the formula. One is L plus n by 2, and CFP means nothing but the cumulative frequency below the L. Below the L means where median lies. ता तळकु जो cumulative frequency अछि सेटा केते? Cumulative frequency below the L. Below केते अछि? तेणु ऑटोमेटिकली below केते अछि देखिए तळे देखिबा below अछि 17. एटू cumulative frequency calculation करना. तेणु ऑटोमेटिकली 65 to 69 भितरे कोन होउची ना हमरो मीडियन टा रहउची. ए फार्मूला देखो एबे L केते होबो तेर आर लोअर लिमिट 65 69 नो लोअर लिमिट केते होची 64.5. तेणु L हैला 64.5. क्यूमुलेटिव फ्रीक्वेंसी बिलो द median L where the median lies, cumulative frequency is 17. Cumulative frequency is 17. Cumulative frequency is 17. Then automatically here if you will have to apply all these things, then find out L means जोटी median अछि सेटा हला 64.5. देखो सेटा हला 64.5. तापर होची केते ना n by 2 हला केते 48 by 2, that is 24. 24 is there. Then automatically cumulative frequency is below the L. तळकु जोटा अछि cumulative frequency तार 17 अछि 70. But FM is what? The exact frequency of the class interval where the median lies. Median जोठी अछि सेठी तार class interval केते frequency अछि तार होछि 12. Then automatically FM है 12. Size of the class interval is what? 5. Then you will calculate it, then you can get the result. Here the result is like this. Suppose 64.42. 64.42 means it is remaining in 65 to 69. Any problem? No answer. कार problem अछि कि ए फॉर्मूला बुझिबारे? Okay, thank you. Use of the median means where we are using the median when the distribution is marked square. That the distribution टा जते बेले symmetrical नथियो मध्ये सेते बेले मध्ये we are using the median. आमे exact midpoint जते बेले calculation करिया को जानिबा what is the exact midpoint, then definitely we will have to utilize the median. And you know that median is a point which divides the distribution into the two equal halves. But sometimes you know that the median, whenever we are guessing. Sometimes we are guessing and we are knowing the median, because median can be calculated through inspection also. ଆମେ ଜାଣି ପାରିବା Median is not an accurate measure of central tendency, but mean is the accurate measure of the central tendency. Mode, you know, mode ଓଡ଼ିଆ mode ହେଉଛି the meaning is ଗରିଷ୍ଠକ. ଗରିଷ୍ଠକ means what?
ଯାହାର
Suppose
ଫ୍ରିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସି ବେଶୀ ଥିବ।
mode, very good. Suppose in a particular class, how many students? Suppose the number of the student, more number of the students equal a particular number, then definitely it will be considered as the mode. Okay. Suppose there are 30 students are there, but if the 7 students secure the highest mark, then definitely we can say that that mark is also known as the mode. Most frequently observing the score is known as the mode. Frequently the mode will be there, and mode calculation formula is very easy. We can calculate it by using the formula 3 median minus 2 mean. First we will have to calculate the median, then you will have to calculate the mean, and you will have to multiply with the median 3, then multiply mean 3 2, then if you will 3 median minus 2 mean means deduction further, automatically we will have to calculate the mode. And mode requires to find most frequently occurred scores, and you can get it through inspection also. Quick inspection, approximate measures of central tendency is mode. And suppose limitation is also there. Sometimes number of the scores जोटा को estimate करिवा central tendency रे, it can never be give the accurate result. Okay. Try to look at this table and try to understand what is the difference between the mean, median and mode. Mean is the point on the scale of measurement obtained by dividing the sum of all the scores by their total numbers. Sigma x by n, total number of the scores divided by the number of the cases, number of the students. But median is always judging the midpoint of the distribution. Midpoint means 50% cases lie above and below that point. Only that point, not other points. Mode is nothing but which scores occurs frequently. That is the mode. Mean is the accurate measures of central tendency, but median is the approximate measures of central tendency. And you know that, median is approximate measure of central tendency, but mode is rough estimate. Just you can see and know the mode. When we are using the mean, we are using the mean to know how far the distribution is symmetrical or not. And it can be calculated in case of few scores if it is known in case of the median. But we can calculate few scores if the distribution is skewed. Skewed means chippy distribution. Normal probability curve is there, but if you will not find the normal probability curve, then automatically values means mean has the only one mean, can give you the accurate information, and there will be only one median in the distribution, and there will be the more than one mode. More than one mode means dita score जति हैला कोन अधिक अछि सेटा मोड होबो, तीनटा हेले भी मोड होबो, चारटा हेले भी मोड होबो, जते अधिक होबो. Measures of dispersion. And we say sometimes that measures of variability. Here, first we will have to go through the percentile. Means we will have to find out the percentile rank and how we can able to calculate. You know that, for example, why we are going to learn the measures of dispersion, how far it is scatteredly distributed, and how we can not get or reveal the entire truth. Here is one example. Group 1 and group 2, group 3 you can see. In these all groups the mean is 40. Group 2 also mean 40. Group 3 mean is 40. Here we are getting mean 40. But in group 1 everybody secured the 40 mark. And also group 2 there is the difference. Highest mark and lowest mark with the difference is less. You can see less difference is there. Suppose you can see that 36 and highest mark is 44. But another group is there where the scores are there, but it starts from 10 and ends at 80. But if mean is same, can you say that all the group performance is same? Because mean is same. Three groups mean is same. So what differences are there, we'll have to observe. Because it varies in spread. How far it is spread? How far it is reflected the scores? And definitely here when we are going to know the percentile, here it is nothing but to measure the position of the concerned student. How we'll have to measure the position of the concerned student? I will have to tell you one thing, that before going to discuss the percentile or percentile rank, it is better again we'll have to remember the median. I have told you that above and below distribution, the point is median. Means which point lies above 50% and below 50% is median. And we say that it is nothing but 50th percentile. We are saying that it is the 50th percentile. Means n by 2 means what? N by 2 means it is nothing, number of the cases divided n by 2. 50% divided by 100, that is the n by 2. Because it is the 50th percentile, we are taking 50 percentage. 50 percentage means 50 divided by 100 is equal to n by 2 formula. Jyutila L plus n by 2 minus Fm divided by what? Number of the cases into size of the interval. So 50th percentile. Similarly, you know that if you will divide a particular scale in 4 parts, number one part will be the 1/4. Next part is 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. If taken into consideration, then it is 50%. And after that, another is there 1/4. Then another is 1/4. But when we are taking into consideration that is the middle point is 50th percentile, then the next will be the what? The 75 percentile. Then another is 100% percentile. So if we are able to calculate the 50th percentile, why will not calculate the percentage? Means the position of the students, that is the 10, 15, 35, 65, 67, 85, 99, all these things. Because percentile rank is nothing but a point on the score scale where we are getting it through percentage of measure. The whole distribution is given in the percentage. Suppose when we will have to calculate the percentile, then automatically here the percentile rank is like this formula. Here you can see the formula. If it is median, then automatically the formula will be like this. The L plus, here Pn means what? Pn means part of the n. Here Pn means there we are getting the, we can say that 50 by 100, that is n by 2. But here, suppose we are going to calculate 25%, then 25 divided by 100, then what? 25 1 by 4th. Then 2 divide 50 by suppose 100, that is known as the 1 by 2. N, that is the n is there. N by 2 means 50%. N by 2 is 50% by what? 100. 50 by 100, that is n by 2. N by 2. Then here cumulative frequency will be like this. In this manner, you will have to calculate the Q1, Q3, Q4, or percentage 10, percentage 20, percentage 30, percentage 50, all these things you will have to calculate. Suppose if table is like this, then automatically here, whenever you will calculate the P10, then 10% of the 100 is equal to 10. Here, where the 10 lies, their class interval lower limit you will have to take it into consideration. Then here, when we are getting the 10% of the 100, in median we are getting the 50% of the 100. 50 by 100 means n by 2. Then automatically here n by 2, 10% is 10. 10 is here. The lower limit is there. Class interval is, size of the class interval is there, and number of the frequencies lies in that class interval is 5. In this manner, you will have to calculate the percentage P10, P20, P30, P40. In this manner, you will have to get the rank. That is the percentile rank. That your rank remains in what percentile, then automatically this is the formula. You can say here another percentile is there. Okay. If you know the, we can say if you know the what the median calculation, then automatically you can able to calculate the percentile, or percentile you can calculate. What do you mean by the variability? Spread of the scores means separate scores, how it is spread around the measure of central tendency. And variability we will have to consider definitely. Here the table is like this. Here you can say that 20, 20, 20, these are the variables. Variables means when we are testing the variable, at that time we are taking into consideration the 4 matters are there. Number 1 is range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, and standard deviation. Here when we are getting the scores, here when we will have to take the range. Range means highest score minus lowest score. Range is nothing but the highest score and the lowest score. That is the calculation of the range. And if one is secured 1 mark in a particular series, then definitely the range will be what? More. Here in this distribution, if one will secure 1 mark, then automatically highest mark is 52. 52 minus 1. That is 51 will be the range. Range will differ, and it will vary from table to table. Quartile deviation, I have told you, quarter means Q. Q means quartile deviation. Quartile deviation one formula is like this. Median. Q3 means 75%. Q1 25%. Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2 is equal to quarter Q. QD, quartile deviation is there. Here you will have to adopt the formula like this. Q1, Q2. How we are calculating the median? Suppose Q is equal to Q3 minus Q1, Q2. But when we are knowing to calculate the Q1, here I am telling you that Q1 means 25%. 25% means 25 divided by 100 n. That is, here you can see P75, P25, P75 means 3/4. So now automatically Q3 means 3n by 4. How it will be 3n? 75 divided by 100 into n. Here Q1 is 25. 25 is what? 25 divided by 100 into n. Then automatically here formula, that is median formula, that L plus n by 2, that is 50%. Here when it is 25%, then it will be n by 4. 25% हेले 25 by 100 गुणन n. सेठी 50% थिला काहे कि n by 2 कहतले ना 50 by 100 into n. तेनु Q1 is here n by 4 and Q3 is 3n by 4. So if you will have to find out this formula, calculation should be there, then automatically we can able to calculate Q1 is 50.64 and Q3 is 69. Then quartile deviation will be Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. 69 is Q3 minus 50.44, that is Q1, divided by 2 is equal to 9.1 is what? Q. Quartile deviation is what? 9.18. If your median formula will be clear, when we are taking the median formula, L plus n by 2 minus Fm by divided by what? L by 2, n by 2 minus F divided by CF जोड़ा हमें कहे cumulative frequency divided by Fm into I. Here CF is there, CF below. Median formula again I am telling you that L plus 50n by 100 minus CFB, then Fm into I, size of the class interval. प्रथम कथा होची 50 by 100. Here किंतु Q1 is 25%, means 25 n by 100, that is n by 4. Q3 75%, 75 by 100, 3n by 4. But quartile deviation, you know that always we are using the quartile deviation preferred to measures of dispersion. एई क्षेत्र रे हमें व्यवहार करू जतले हमें परसेंटाइल हेरिका कैलकुलेशन करूछु. But here the mean deviation is there. We know the average deviation. Average deviation. Deviation means what? Score minus mean. So when we are calculating the mean deviation, definitely sigma eta avoid bar, that is sigma x by n on group data. Then fx is there, that is group data. X is nothing but here the midpoint minus mean. X is midpoint minus mean. But if it is the question, the scores are there in the class interval and frequency is there and midpoint is already calculated, then you will have to find out the sigma x by n in case of the on group data. But we are going through the group data, there only in the small x you will have to multiply f. You see here score is there 10 to 19. The midpoint will be what? 10, 19 divided by 2, 14.5. Size of the class interval is 5. Here is what? 10. Then 14.5 plus 10, 24.5. Then 24.5 plus 10, 34.5. 34.5 plus 10, 44. Here is the midpoint. And here is the frequency. And when we are getting the fx, then automatically it will be 14.5 into 229. Then 24.5 is what? 98. But here you will have to get the deviation. Score minus mean. First you will have to calculate the mean. 5870 mean 5870 divided by 100 is equal to, that is 58.70. And you will have to get the f, x here, small x means x minus mean. X is midpoint 14.5, ସେଥିରୁ 58.5 ଫେରିବ, 5870 ଫେରିଲେ automatically ଏତିକି ଆସିବ 44 point. Here minus ଆସିବ, but here you will have to avoid the minus. Then fx, because here we are giving the bar, x means 2 bars are there, we will not consider the minus point. Minus point को हमको avoid କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. ଯଦି avoid କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, then fx will be like this, and sigma fx after avoiding the minus mark 1270. Then lastly you will have to calculate the midpoint, mean deviation. Here is equal to 12.704. Range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, it is the very simplest way to calculate. But definitely when we are going to calculate the standard deviation, at that time we must have to taken care of it, because standard deviation is nothing but we can say सबले standard deviation टा सबुतरे हमरो दरकार हुए. काहे कि दरकार हुए ना, सेटा सब बेले नॉर्मल प्रोबेबिलिटी कर्व सहित रिलेटेड. एवं आमे जते बेले स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन के यूज करिबा सेते बेले आमे ताकू सिग्मा बेले आमे कहू ग्रीक लेटर सिग्मा ताकू आमे नै के व्यवहार करू. एवं ताकू जते बेले आमे कैलकुलेशन करिबा सेते बेले तार फार्मूला होउची जे स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन इज very easy to calculate. This is from the on group data. On group data जेतेले हमें calculation करिबा, you can see suppose these scores are 7, 8, 11, 14 and 15. But formula is here, standard deviation sigma x square by n root over. And sum total of the deviation divided by n root over square root. तार स्क्वायर हबो डेविएशन नो सम ऑफ द स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ द डेविएशन डिवाइडेड बाय जोटा के हम कहूचे तार n रे डिवाइड कर देले ऑटोमेटिकली आसीबो. देखो एटी केमिति आसुची, हाउ सपोज x इज स्कोर्स 7, 8, 11, 14 and 15. Here deviation is x. Deviation is x minus mean. First we will have to calculate the mean. 7, 8, 11, 14 and 15. That is 55 divided by the number of the cases. 15, 1, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55 divided by 5 is 11. Then here deviation is score minus mean. Here score is what? 7. Mean is 11. 7 minus 11 is minus 4. Here score is 8. Mean is 11. 8 minus 11 is minus 3. 11 score, 11 mean 0. 14 score, 11 mean 3. 15 score, minus 11 is 4. Only to avoid the minus point. Then we are making square कर देले deviation. Square कर ले minus 4 square is 16, minus 3 square is 9, 0 square is 0, 3 square is 9 and 4 square is 14, 16. Then automatically we are trying to know sigma x square by n. N हमें जानी चाहिए, number of the cases is 5, but sigma x square is 50. Then 50 by 5 cross square root वर्गमूल means 50 by 5 is 10. 10 no वर्गमूल होची केते 3.16. You understand how you have to calculate the standard deviation from the ungrouped data. Only 5 scores are there. Here the 5 scores total, sum of the scores are 55 divided by 5 is 11 is mean. Then you will have to get the deviation. Deviation is always related to score minus mean. Here I have already explained you how you will have to get the sigma x square by n divided by square root of the sigma x square by n. But when we are going to calculate the SD from the group data, then we will have to take another formula. Here the sigma fx square by n minus sigma fx by n rho whole square. X is also deviation. Also x is deviation. If we can say that it may be like this, sigma fd square, x square means deviation square by n, then sigma fd by n rho whole square, rho root over. F means frequency, x means raw score, and choto x is deviation value from the mean, d deviation from the assumed mean, and x is class interval I, then total frequency. You can calculate this going through your books also. But where we will have to use the range, you know that when we need the glance. At a glance, we must have to know what is the distribution. What is the distribution? At a glance, we will have to know. Quickly, we can able to know the highest number and also the lowest number. The scores are spread properly widely there, and we will have to get the information. Quartile deviation is always, we are concerned with the median. If we know the median, it will be easy to calculate the quartile deviation. And when score is lying both the sides, then definitely we will have to give the importance. Mean deviation, you know that only to avoid the sign, minus sign, then automatically we are going to multiply it square. We are giving the square, and then automatically we will have to calculate the mean deviation. Standard deviation is most reliable, and when we will get the mean, then automatically we will also measure the central tendency. It helps for the statistical analysis of the research paper, and sometimes we are also using the correlation ANOVA. But some standard scores are there. Raw score has no value at all. You know that we have to make it in the standard score. Standard score is divided into two. One is Z score, another is T score. आमे कहूचे रॉ स्कोर रो किछि मूल्य नाही जे पर्यंत आमे ताकू स्टैंडर्ड स्कोर रे परिणत न करिचे तेनु ताकू आमे कहूचे जेड स्कोर मींस you know that x minus m divided by sd, and sd is already calculated, mean is already calculated with the statistical formula. X means the raw score. जते बेले x raw score पाइबा, mean पाइबा, sd पाइबा, तेणु रॉ स्कोर रु मीन को माइनस करके जदि एचडी रे हमें डिवाइड कर दबा तबे हमें पाइबा स्टैंडर्ड स्कोर. टी स्कोर से मध्य सेया एना एठी स्टैंडर्ड स्कोर को जते हमें कैलकुलेशन करबा सेते बेले हमें पॉइंट पाइबा अधिक, किंतु पॉइंट को अवॉइड करिया पई हमें जेड स्कोर टाकू नबा जोटा को हमें कहूचे जेड स्कोर टाकू नै करी हमें टी स्कोर टा कैलकुलेशन करवा केमिति ना 50 रे प्लस 10 जेड मिसई देबा जेड स्कोर जोटा पाइले ताको मिसई देबा 10 ने जहाँ हम 50 से मिसई देले आम टी स्कोर पाई then we want to go through the measures of the relationship. You know that correlation means what? When we will have the relationship between the two, correlation, co-education, boys and girls, co-education, correlation between the two. And you know that the relationship, if we will have to establish, then automatically how the relationship is also correlated, we want to know. Because suppose the relationship is regarding the subjects, suppose mathematics is there and score in other subjects, we will have the correlationship with the subjects. Mathematics subject marks and other subject marks have the relationship. Suppose we also want to know that what is the relationship with the sports and games with the scholastic activities. Scholastic activities means your literary activities means curricular activities. How it is related to games activities. How the physical activities of yourself is related to scholastic activities. Suppose some relationship is there. If your head is big, then your intelligence is more. Is there any relationship? If head is big, then automatically you are having the more intelligence. Suppose you know that if you are reading very speedily, covering the chapter immediately, and you are not in a position to apply your abstract thinking power, then can I say that speedy reading is also related to abstract thinking? Suppose whatever you are memorizing, is it related to your age? So definitely here there are certain statistical tools developed to find out the relationship with all these things. So correlation is nothing but an analysis of covariation between the two or more variables. Whenever we are getting the different type of the variables, how far it is correlated with that variable, we must have to know all these things. But correlation is nothing but a single number. Here we will have to calculate the single number. That number indicates that how togetherness is going on between the two scores. So symbol is given that R. But coefficient correlation we are calculating through the formula, that is rho formula. And you know that relationship is also sometimes the positive correlationship is there. You can see that relationship between the temperature and height of the mercury column of a thermometer. Thermometer and the temperature is correlated. That is the positive correlationship. Suppose speed of the vehicle and distance covered, positive correlated. But sometimes there is no relationship at all. That is the negative correlationship. For example, suppose the relationship in the production of the paddy is with the what? Rainfall. But if the rainfall will be the more, weather will have to produce. Suppose some rainfall is essential, but if it will be the twice or thrice or abnormally, then automatically you will not produce anything else. So definitely the negative correlation is there. And you know that that will be expressed in number. Correlation is always expressed in number, remember it. And the difference of the number is -1 to +1. The table is there. And you know that -1 to +1, no zero. -1 to +1. You can see in the graph paper normal probability curve. So definitely we are getting the +-1 value. That is the, if we will get 1 plus or minus, then we can say that positive perfect correlation, or we can say that negative perfect correlationship. So positive and negative correlationship is there. Sometimes no correlation is also we are finding that no relationship, if it will be observed, then automatically we can say that no relationship is there. Suppose you know that sometimes we are finding the zero correlationship. Positive correlations, I have told you that sometimes our it increases. Suppose speedy driving increases to cover the distance, then automatically some related variables are there. Sometimes it also decreases and one is increases. Increases means we can able to say that it is positive. For example, suppose height, positive correlation to the weight. Why? Your height is always related to your weight. Positive correlation is there. Height and weight are positive correlationship. In the education, positive correlationship is there. Motivation and intelligence. If you are motivated, if you have the intelligence, your achievement is more. So your study habit also increase your achievement. And if you will read more and more, suppose if you read 1 hour, then automatically you will have to develop the learning capacity of yourself. 2 hours, another development is there. So reading is always related to achievement. Suppose if you will attend the classes regularly, then you will also have the relationship on your subject matter. So automatically correlationship we can able to establish. But you know that another thing is there, sometimes it increases or it decreases. But in case it is negatively correlated, then definitely we say that it is negative correlationship is there. Suppose for example, supply and also the price of the commodities. If supply of commodities is more, then automatically price decreases. If supply is less, then price will be the increases. Then price fall and price rises depend on the supplies. But you know that the prices fall, and if it is shortage, the prices will rise if it has more products. Linear correlation and non-linear correlation you can see from this example. Suppose intelligence is there and achievement is there. Suppose if you have achievement 25, then suppose if your intelligence is 50, then achievement is 25. Suppose if it will increase by 10, then automatically it will increases here 5. Suppose it increasing intelligence 50, 60, 70, 89 means 10. Here also increases achievement 25, 30, 35 and 45. Here we can say that increasing in a particular range, it is increasing. And if it will increase, then it is going on a particular line. But if it will not go in a particular line, then automatically we can say that is known as the curvilinear correlationship. Linear ହେଲା ଏକଘାତୀ ସମ୍ବନ୍ଧୀୟ, ଆଉ ଏଇଟା ହେଉଛି curvilinear ହେଲା ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ତାକୁ କହୁଛେ non curvilinear ଓଡ଼ିଆଟା I do not know, but here curvy means curve wise it will go. For example, hour of study, if we will have the hour of study 1, then achievement score is 60, then hour 2 65, hour 3 72, hour 5 78, 5 4 78, 5 83. Here you can see that there you are finding that increase is suppose 25, 5 30, 5 35, then 5 40 and 45. Here 60 65 5, but here 7 and here 6 and here automatically 5. There is no constant increase in the scores. So definitely it will go in the curvical manner. So curvular linear is there and it is not line. And we say that non-linear correlationship, that is curve type correlationship is there. But we must have to find out the correlationship. Always the relationship we are finding, establishing the relationship between the two subjects. Similarly, here rank difference method is applied to find out the coefficient of correlation. And you know that rank difference method is here developed by the Spearman. Rank difference method is there. And here the relationship we will have to find out. Here you can see the picture. Suppose X is the mark given in the history and Y is the mark given in the geography. Here students are there, A, B, C, D, just like the X, Y, Z, all these things. Rama, Dama, Hori, इत्यादि. ସେମାନେ ହିଷ୍ଟ୍ରି କିଛି ମାର୍କ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ସେଇ ପର୍ଟିକୁଲାର ପିଲାମାନେ ଜିଓଗ୍ରାଫିରେ ମଧ୍ୟ ମାର୍କ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି ତେଣୁ ୟାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ମାର୍କସ ଅଛି ତା ଭିତରେ ରିଲେସନସିପ୍ କ'ଣ ଆମେ ପାଇବା if we calculate then automatically we can able to know. Here you know that suppose A secured 72 in history, B 77, 79, 59D, E 59, 92, 97, 68, I means 91 and 60. These are marks secured by the students, different students in the subject of history. But to find out the coefficient correlation, we have to apply one formula. That is known as the P is here, we say rho. Here 1 minus 6 sigma d square, 6 sigma d square divided by n into n square minus 1. This is the formula. Here sigma you know that sum total. D is what? The difference between the two ranks. Two ranks means rank in history and rank in geography. Two ranks रे two difference हमें पाइबा ताकू जदि हमें से difference रो square कर दबा तेनो automatically we will have to get the d square and n is same means n is 10, number of the students are 10. Then we are getting the one, you know, 6 is there, sigma means sum total, d square means what differences we will have to find in case of the two ranks. Then tara square, n you know, but here we must have to find out how we will have to get the difference between the ranks. For example, here you can see the history is there. When we are finding the history subject, which one secured the highest mark? That I secured the highest mark or G secured the highest mark? G secured the highest mark. Then automatically his rank will be 1. Here R1 means history mark rank you can see in the R1 that is 1. 97 is 1. 92 is 2. 91 is 3. 91 is I. Then 4 is C, 79. 5 is 77. And 6 is 72. But 59 and 59, both D and E secure. You will just avoid D and E. How many numbers of students are there? Already given the rank. We have given the rank up to 8, 1 to 8. Then another 2 ranks are there for the 10 students. That is 9 and 10. And when we are getting the 9 and 10, then we will not give to D 59, 9 or another E is 10. But we will have to divide between 2. How will we divide the 2? That is 9 plus 10, that is 19 divided by 2 is equal to 9.5 and 9.5. Both will be given the rank 9.5 and 9.5. It is very important. Suppose 3 students are there and ranks are says 5th, 6th and 7th. Then 5th, 6th, 7th rank 3 ଟାଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ମିଶେଇକିରି ବାଣ୍ଟିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ. that is history rank is like this. Come to the rank of the geography. Geography means Y. 62, 76, 77, 52, 62, 81, 67, 44, 74, and 65. Then definitely here who has secured the highest mark? Highest mark is secured by 81. That is F. F has secured the 81 marks. That rank is 1. 2, 77, C. 3, you can give the rank 76. 4 rank is 74, I. Then 5 rank is 67, that is G. And you can have to get 6 rank is 65. But here I am saying that 62 and 62, A has secured 62 and 62. Already we have given the rank 7 up to 6. Then both will give in the 62 and 62 will give in what rank? The 7 rank and 8 rank. 7 rank and 8 rank both will be add कर दियंतु. Then add कर देलो automatically 7 and 8 15. 15 rank is divided by the 2, that is 7.5 and 7.5. Here जो 60 mark A secured and also 62 mark A secured and E secured 62 mark, that the rank will be given 7.5 and 7.5. Here we are getting the rank R1 and R2, but formula is there. Here we can see the formula 1 minus 6 sigma d square by n into n square minus 1. Then automatically the rank difference is what? Suppose here rank difference 6 minus 7.5 equal to minus 1.5. Then B rank difference R1 minus R2, 5 minus 3, 2, 4 minus 2, C, 2, 9.5 minus 9, 0.5, 9.5 minus 7.5, 2, 2 minus 1, 1, 1 minus 5, 4 minus 4, 7 minus 10 minus 3, 3 minus 4 minus 1, 8 minus 6 is equal to 6. But we want to get the d square. When we are getting the d like this, 1.5 minus 1.5, here minus 4 minus 3 minus 1, if we will multiply, then automatically here it will be like this. Suppose 1.5, that will be 2.25, 2, 4, 2, 4, 0.5, 0.25, 2, 4, 1, 1, minus 4, 16, minus 3, 9, 1, 1, 2. Total is 45.5. Then definitely here we are getting 1 minus 6 sigma d square. 6 ray 45.54. If we will multiply, then automatically divided by the we can say that 10 into 80, 99. Then lastly we will have to get 7.24. That is the, and you know that 1 and 2 minus 1 minus 2, here plus 0.724. That is the coefficient of correlationship. Let us go to normal probability curve. You are looking at this curve. This is the normal probability curve, and this curve is very important. Normal probability curve is very important. Why we are giving much more importance on the PC? Here you can see characteristics. Automatically you can able to write. Just have a glance on the normal probability curve. That you see that it is just like a bell. It is bell shaped. घंटी भलिया. And another two properties is there, characteristics, mean, median and mode in one point you can see. And it is symmetrical. Suppose it is the highest point. Left ku ଯେତିକି ଯାଇଛି ଯେମିତି ଯାଇଛି right କୁ symmetrically ସେମିତି ଯାଇଛି କୋଉଠି ବଢିନି କୋଉଠି କମିନି ଖସିଛି ପୁରା ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଏପଟକୁ ସେପଟକୁ. It is one characteristics. And one point mean median mode पूरा highest level ରେ ଅଛି. ଦି ଭାଗ ହେଇଛି ଯଦି ଆମେ ଭାଗ କରିଦେବା ଦି ଭାଗରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇଯିବ. Suppose it will fold it, then automatically it will be very symmetrical. पूरा ଭାଗଟା ସମାନ ହେଇଯିବ. ଆଉ କଣ characteristics ହେଇପାରିବ ଏଥିରେ କହିଛି mean median mode ଗୋଟେ ସାଇଡରେ ରହିବ. ତାପରେ calculation ଯୋଉ ହେଇଛି distance ଟା ସବୁବେଳେ ଦେଖ ଏଠି ହେଉଛି 1 SD, এটা 2 SD, 3 SD, and it is plus, it is plus, and it is also plus. Another is minus 1 SD, minus 2 SD, minus 3 SD. So here distance we can able to calculate, and you'll have to see that the curve will never touch the baseline. A curve टा baseline के touch कर. ତେଣୁ latest जोटा आसीबो आर एरिया टा ऑटोमेटिकली आसीबो 99.72. 100% it will never. That is the normal probability curve. And this curve will also express everything. When we are going to properties, you can see that bilateral symmetrical. ଦି ଭାଗ ହେଇଛି bilateral ଏବଂ symmetrical. And another is there, we are going to a perfect height. ଗୋଟେ height କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ ଯାଉଛେ. Theoretically, the curve never touches the baseline. Curve is there and never touches the baseline. The points which were calculated is plus 1 SD. Calculation is there. And here, if we will find out the distance 1 SD, 2 SD, and 3 SD, then distance will be, you will have to calculate plus here minus 1 to plus 1, 34.13, 34.13. If you will calculate, then automatically minus 2 to plus 2, then you will have to take into consideration all 13.59, 13.59. Here minus 3 to plus 3, you will calculate again 2.15, 2.15 you will have to add. If you will add all these things, then addition will be 99.73. Here 0.13% and 0.13% will remain there vacant. And area here you can see that mean to 1 SD 34.13. You can write just looking at the normal probability curve. Here 0 is there, one mean median mode. 0 to 1 standard deviation distance plus 34.13. Similarly 0 to minus 1 34.13. Here the calculation you can write all these things. What are the number of the cases? But you know that when we are calculating the mean and SD, then normal probability curve will always reflected the SD and mean. And sometimes the skewness is there. Skewness is what? You can see. If it is just like a normal probability curve we are looking at, but here positive skewness and negative skewness. Curve is like this. Suppose you will have to, suppose height is there, that is the curve. Here is height is there. If you will press from the height, then it will have to push either positive or negative. Then the height will be not there equally. The height will suppress. Then automatically when there will be the suppression, then distribution is spread. Automatically either left low end को ଯିବ ନହେଲେ either end upper ଯିବ ନହେଲେ low କୁ ଆସିବ. But ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ high ରହିବ. Suppose you can see here the mid median mode in one point, but here the point is this, where median is there but mode is not there and mean is also diverted. In lower side it is also going. Distribution is gradually towards the lower side, and where the distribution is gradually in the higher side, then automatically in higher side if the distribution is there, mean, median and mode. In lower side if the mean, median and mode is there, first mean, then median, and next last is mode. Mode is there here, mean, median and mode. Positive is there, positive skewness is there if it will go to higher, and if it will go to lower then it is negative. Negatively skewed distribution and positively skewed distribution. So skewness is nothing but mean, median, mode. One will be in the central point in the normal distribution curve, but here there is the deviation. They will have to change their what? The position. So skewness you can able to calculate 3 mean 3 into mean minus median by SD. Mean calculation is there, median calculation is there, SD is there because distance is there. So skewness is 0 ଯେତେବେଳେ କ'ଣ ହେବ, when the mean and median equal ଥିବ. If the mean is greater than the median, then automatically skewness is positive, and skewness is negative if it is mean is lesser than the median. So definitely this is the calculation which we are going to do. But sometimes normal probability curve we also can make it in this way. Suppose one is crutaceous, କେତେ ଉପରକୁ ଆମେ ନେଇପାରିବା. Suppose normal probability curve କୁ ଉପରଟାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଚିପିକି ଧରିବା A, ଟାଣି ନେବା ଉପରକୁ, then automatically ବାଇସିମେଟ୍ରିକାଲ ହବନି, ଏମିତି ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ ଏଟା. Bଟା କ'ଣ କରିବା ନା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କ'ଣ କରିବା ନା ଟିକେ ଚାପିଦେବା, ତେଣୁ ଏମିତି ରହିବ. ଆଉ ଅଧିକ ଚାପିଦେଲେ ଏଥିରୁ ସେ ବାହାରିକି ଏପଟକୁ ପଳେଇ ଆସିବ, ରାଇଟ୍ ଆଉ ଲେଫ୍ଟ ହେଇଯିବ. ତେଣୁ ଅଟୋମେଟିକାଲି ହିୟର କ୍ରୁଟେସିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦେୟାର, ଯୋଉଟାକୁ ଆମେ କହୁଛେ mesocrutic and platy. Platy means it will push from the high, then it will become platy. Meso means here the highest. A is meso and platy is known as the B. B is platy. Platy is there, and C also we can say platy. Then these are all we can say regarding the statistics, and if you will go through it and if you can able to understand properly, then automatically you will not face any problem. And if you desire to know more, then automatically you can go through the books. You know that it is not possible on our part without the blackboard. It is not possible to have the clear description regarding all these things. But first you must have to know that the mean calculation of the mean, median, mode, and also the quartile deviation, mean deviation, and also the standard deviation. And standard deviation is very easy for the calculation because short method is there, and whenever you are taking the x, that is the deviation, and fx square is also deviation. F, you will have to count the square of the deviation. Here is the rank difference method is there. Always you will have to get the question from the rank difference method. But when you are giving the ranks, you will be much more careful because because suppose scores are there, when you are getting the score, then you must have to give the ranks taking into consideration of the number of the students. If the number of students are less, then it will very easy to calculate. Number is more, then you will have to take the frequency distribution table. Suppose if rank is there, three number of the students have secured the same mark, then the rank will be the three. Three means suppose first is there already, then second is there, third is there, fourth is there, then second, third, fourth you will have to add and divided by the three. Then whatever result will be there, you will have to give the rank. Here is the standard deviation formula. That is the here x small x is there, deviation is there, x minus mean. Always you must have to remember that deviation is nothing but the score minus mean. Score minus mean is deviation. Range is highest score minus the lowest score. And mean is nothing but it is the average value. Average value. Median is nothing but the exact midpoint. And that point divides the series into two equal halves, 50% above and 50% below. Mode is nothing most frequently occurring this course, which course occurs very frequently. That is the mode. And mean, median, mode is very essential for a teacher. Without the knowledge of the mean and median, we cannot compare with the others. Okay, thank you very much for your kind cooperation. And median always must have to keep in your mind that median is Q2 means percentage, some extent percentage Q2, Q1 is 1/4, Q2 is half, 50%, Q2 is 50%, Q3 is 70%, and Q4 is 100%. Then automatically when you are calculating the median, the formula you must have to know, and that formula will help you to calculate the quartile deviation. And also the percentile. But mean is always authentic. We can say most accurate measures of central tendency. Median is approximate measure of central tendency. And mode is very rough estimate of the measures of central tendency. In case of we are calculating the median, don't try to forget to calculate the cumulative frequency. Why you will calculate the cumulative frequency? Because you are taking into consideration here the frequencies. Because number of frequencies, suppose here is 34, but you must have to know the n by 2. N by 2 means 34 by 2 is equal to 17. But 17 cumulative frequency where it appears, that is your point to know. Here you know that n by 2, 34 divided by 2 is equal to 17. Here you will have to find that 17 score is not remaining in 14 to 16, but sorry, 34 means 17. 17 is remaining in the 17 T score, that is the 14.16. Here 17. Then calculation you can just calculate that in that uh, class interval the median is there, then automatically median will be the what? Here 17 is there and another 17 is there above. and that point will be the median. Automatically, we'll have to calculate the median. Always